Alrighty, good evening, Nightcore Narrative, or night, or morning, whatever you decide to listen to us or watch us, whichever, tomato, potato. I am Aqua.
I am Elvish. He also sounds like he's in a spaceship today, so
Because I'm in space!
Think what you will.
Look, I'm trying to expand audience right now, so I'm trying to, try and branch out into space, okay? That's how I'm doing things now. Totally not because Brent is super high on Earth or anything like that.
I feel that.
Anyways, internet is definitely better up here, so that's good. But today, we're talking about something a bit different. We're talking about revenge. Sweet, delicious revenge. And of course, romance. Today we have "'Tis the Season for Revenge" by Morgan Elizabeth. Totally not just search up the name 2 seconds ago.
No, like honestly, I couldn't remember either.
I did not just forget. Yeah, exactly. But this is actually a very difficult read for me.
I actually liked it.
Don't get me wrong, it was more of like the last bit of the book that's what got me hooked.
Oh yeah, like the last 10 chapters is so good. I really liked it.
Yeah. And I can definitely say I now know what you mean about like the spicy scenes. I get it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The thing is, like, the way I see it is that it's just more like, it's more like just like dirty, like on the dirty talk sort of thing. I think that's just a preference on certain people. To me, it was just kind of meh. I mean, it was nice and all. There's some parts that were like, oh, okay, I see. The other parts were like, all right, it kind of got boring.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though. Yeah. I listened to the first 2 like spicy scenes, and then after that, I skipped them. They held no importance whatsoever. I missed nothing with the plot line. It was horrible, but like once you heard one spicy scene in the book, you heard them all, because the same words, the same descriptions, the same literally everything. Like it's kind of like the author ran out of descriptive words, so once she used them once, that's the same descriptive word that she used the entire time, and not even just with the spicy scene, but just in general. And I don't know, it got very boring. And to be honest, I know I've already said it in like the previous episodes, but I feel like now, like spicy books, they're just not doing it. Like, I don't like them. I don't want anything to do with them. Obviously, I'll still read them, but it's just like once you've read one spicy book, you've read them all. Like, they don't have any uniqueness. They don't have any... They don't have anything different. Like, it's literally the same word. It's literally the same description. It's literally the same cut, copy, paste, whatever. And I don't know. They're so boring. Like, I want an actual spicy scene to make me go, wow, rather than just, like, roll my eyes, you know?
Yeah. Maybe it was some, little more pizzazz or more little I'm trying to think of like the right word for it. I don't think the best word I can use would probably be like variety in terms of like what they can use. Yeah. But honestly, the spice scene was not the worst for me. The part about this book was more of the writing, I guess, or at least the storytelling, because it seemed like we were both doing it from like her perspective. But at the same time, almost her perspective, but her telling a story, like her sitting down right next to you, telling the story of her life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
like
on the
first, third
scene, person? Yeah, like first, third person. And like the spicy scene felt like the only thing that was really first person. That and when Damien was there. When Damien was there, everything just, like the book should have been written, like it was always all Damien, but still can be on the main character, on Abigail.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys don't know, Abigail is the MC, Damien is the other MC, the love interest, so on and so forth. But back to the spice, yeah, I could use a little bit more. I honestly skipped. Once I got there, I skip all the way. I was like, oh, normal dialogue, go back a little bit. Okay, still normal dialogue, go back a little bit. Cause I listen to the book, so yeah. I read it through my ears. And so that's kind of how I did it.
Yeah. You know. The spice in this book was just god-awful. I guess before we get too far into it, as we mentioned, this is season 4 revenge. Basically, um, she is dating a absolute douchebag. He is a I don't want to even say well pronounced, like,
He's not, honestly.
I
The guy
mean,
is
no,
douche. He just
but
douche. He's a spoon-fed baby man baby, and he is just
yeah.
deplorable. Oh my god.
But either way, he's a lawyer. It's now time for the holiday party where we find out everyone actually does dress up, but she attempts to dress up. He basically calls her slutty and like worthless and whatever, blah 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 blah, dumps her. So she ends up getting drunk. She goes on a dating app. She ends up matching with his boss, ends up going out with him as a fuck you to the old guy, ends up falling in love with him. Long story short, she ends up getting invited to the holiday party. She does end up going, well, she attempts to go conservative, kind of like what the ex wanted, and the new boss is like,
Yeah.
no, that's not you. So he ends up changing her clothes. She gets there, hell breaks loose. He calls her slutty again, blah 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 blah. Basically was like, you got my sloppy seconds. A fight breaks out, and then the last 10 chapters is basically of like, I'm sorry, this is why it happened, I love you, blah 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 blah. And
We all got together.
yeah, they're still together, you know. They're in, actually, this is like what, 3 to 4 years later, they're actually engaged now.
Yeah, 3 years later, it was the Christmas party again, because it was the Christmas party, the main thing, and he proposed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, that part was probably like those are the last, like he said, the last 10 chapters made it for me.
Yeah.
Everything else was just the build up, but honestly, I think a good hour or two of the book is her constantly just going over and over and over again on the act. I mean, like, I get it. We got the first 20 minutes of you saying it. I get it. I know it's part of the story. I know it's all about, you know, dealing with trauma and abuse. Also, you know, trigger warning, there is quite a bit of, you know, domestic abuse, you know, emotionally and things like that, blah, blah, blah. Not that in that plan, nothing like that. But that is pretty much the essence of the book, and her rediscovering herself with this new man, which obviously she was using the new man to basically get revenge on the ex, to be like, see, bitch, I am not worthless. I just snagged me a one of the founders of the firm, so hell yeah. Which by all means, you know, go for it, girl. You know, get your comeuppance. But that is pretty much the synopsis.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of like what Aqua just said. Quite literally the entire book, once you've heard the first chapter, well, let's say the first 2 chapters on how she thinks about her ex, the entire book is literally about that. Like I said, the spicy scene, once you've heard the first one, you've heard the other, like, 8. Once you hear the way that she describes her job, every other chapter is that way. Once you hear her describe, you know, her relationship with Damien, it, like, that's yes, and that's what I said at the beginning of this video. Like, the author, I feel like, ran out of descriptions, so once she wrote it once in the book, that's all it was. And don't get me wrong, I actually liked the book. I did think in the middle, the beginning for me was good, the middle was and then the ending was phenomenal. So if anything, the ending was good. But yeah, I feel like this was not necessarily a rough read like Aqua, but it was very okay, I get it, you know?
Yeah. For me, it was like, for you, it was, the beginning was good, middle was, you know, kind of rough, and then the ending was better. For me, the beginning was like trying to run through mud. The middle was like, okay, this is a little bit better. And the end is like, okay, I'm actually walking through water instead.
Yeah.
And that's how it felt like for me, because, like, I mean, I get the idea of emphasizing certain things, but going over and over again, I just
Yeah.
can't do.
Well, and then
But
also
I
the
do.
main character too, like listening to the audiobook, because I listened to the audiobook too, because unfortunately
Yeah.
I just didn't have the funds to actually buy the book this time. So I listened to the audiobook, and the female main character is very legally blonde valley girl, OMG ditzy, like both of her brain cells are fighting for first, second, and third place. And
Yeah.
the narrator that like does her is very, oh my god, and like I can't, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was rough, but
I'll
Damien's
be honest though. The narrator did a damn good job on being that character, if
yeah.
anything. Like, I'll give props for props to do. I totally felt like that I was with the real Abigail. But I think the author had a bit of ADHD brain because of how quickly, like, how, like, something shifted. Like, I think there was, like, one point in the book where Damien's gonna be like, listen, and then pauses, and then she goes on a tangent for, like, 15 minutes on something else.
Yes.
I mean, which feels very real because I know I've had those moments. I'm like, damn, those moments are really annoying to have, but it's
Oh my
it's
god.
relatable.
Well, and
It's
then
so relatable. That's what's frustrating.
and you know every single one of her chapters was long as hell. Like I'm literally talking like
yeah.
audiobook wise, every single one of her chapters was a minimum of 22 minutes all the way upwards of 50 minutes long. Anytime Damien had his chapter, it was 4 to 8 minutes long each time. And so you never actually really got to see that side of him because it was literally, I hate my ex. Oh my
Yes.
god, my ex is horrible. Like, bitch,
Yes.
we fucking get it, dude. Like, chill the fuck out, please.
I know. I struggled on the first date with Damien because already, again,
Oh
went
my
through so much
god.
about yes. And then I was like, I want to get on this date, please. I want to know if you're going to score, which they did. But the point is, okay, I get it. You're at this date. You're thinking a lot at one moment. I get that. It happens to people. Realistically, it does, honestly. You know, time like slows down to like a crawl. But, you know, at the
Yeah,
same
but our
time...
reading experience doesn't need to do that.
I know. I will say this. On the unfortunate realistic side, because I know I've done this before in my head, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 at the relatability scale. I'm starting scales to some of these things now. But in terms of like my enjoyment, I started enjoying it towards the middle. And then at the end, this one I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting a little giddy about this now. You know, I'm over here like, oh, okay, that's cute. I was like, oh, that's sweet. You know, I started reacting to it. In the beginning, it's like, come on, please, just a little bit longer. Please stop talking about the ex. I get it. It made you feel horrible. Not trying to downplay someone's, you know, self-worth. But
God,
please,
like, stop playing victim.
Reach you the story. I get it. I already know. You've already told it to me 3 hours ago. And you're still going at it 3 hours later.
Well, you know, and then there was a really good part of, actually, this is when I messaged you. It's the first part that, like, semi made me blush. Because, okay, so, first of all, let me actually just clarify this. So, this might be, like, weird or whatever, but the way that Damien treats her is the way that Explicit treats me. And, like, that whole relationship is very... like,
it's beautiful.
Like, that is, yeah, so, like, that is literally, like, I came home and I even told him, I was like, I'm reading this book. This guy is a spitting image of you, basically. Like, act-wise, and I was like, you know, like, I think that's why I enjoyed the book so much, because it's like I told him, I finally got to see kind of, like, our relationship from an outsider perspective, if that makes sense. And it kind of gave me a little bit more appreciation for Explicit. Not saying I don't have any for him already, but it kind of gave me a little bit more appreciation. Now, so the only reason that, like, one of the sections, like, semi made me blush, it was during the first spicy scene. She ends up, you know, getting undressed. Yeah. And then she gets nervous and she starts covering her body. And I don't remember the words that he uses, but he basically says, "Why are you doing that? Like, we already like discussed that this body is mine. I want to see it for everything that it's worth."
Ah, the possessiveness.
And then I was just like, that is the sweetest thing I have ever heard anyone say, because she's over here like self-conscious because, like, you know, we already got another 5 hours worth of her talking about how shitty her ex is, and here's like the first guy, he's just like, no, you're gonna remove your arms and you're gonna show me everything. And I was just like, okay, well, that's cute. And then we got the same boring sex scene that we've literally read the past 5 books.
Yeah.
So it was.
I'll be honest. When it came to him, like describing things and talking about things, when it's not just the spice, but him like acting towards her, that's what I really liked. Yeah. And only the moments that when he was like that during the spice scenes were the only time I really paid attention to. After it just became that, I was like, all right, skip.
Yeah.
So, but for readers or listeners who are out there who just like, you know, kind of like the spice scenes that are very, I'm not gonna say vulgar, but more of the dirty talk sort of thing. It's very dirty talkish. If that's your thing, you'll be fine with this book. It has plenty of it. It is the same.
It is vulgar. It is vulgar. The thing is, though, well, yeah, but like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but there's a difference between vulgarity, like just like rinse, repeat, copy, paste, whatever, and then like the vulgarity that's kind of like, okay, well, like, you know, like, I'm just gonna say, like, Credence, that was a little different. Like, as far as like the spicy scene, that was a little bit different, so I could understand that. Yeah. But when Spookily Yours, this, I mean, I'll even go as far as even Akatar, like, when they all have the exact same spicy scene, enough is enough. And like, I know you guys are so tired of me saying this, but writers, I'm sorry, I appreciate what you do, and I know it's hard, but when it comes to spicy scenes, do better, please. Like, literally do better. Like, I understand you're looking up to XYZ and they're like these amazing authors. Don't be like them. Do better, because by you doing the same spicy scene as them, it's actually hurting you. Like, I enjoyed this book, and I wouldn't mind going out reading her other books, but am I going to get the same spicy scene as every other book on the shelf?
Nah. Probably. Who knows?
Probably.
If it's the same thing, then yeah. I mean, obviously. There's nothing wrong with trying to do things differently. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with, like, changing some words for it to be something else. Let people use their imagination. I mean, the thing is, a lot of things with writing, it's always about, you know, creative writing sometimes. But, you know, hey, there is some simplicity when it just becoming blunt for a lot of things. But, you know, I guess I think maybe because we've read so many or listened to so many.
Oh my god.
You know, I think that may have ruined us just a tiny bit.
Kind of.
But still, though, it would be nice to not have so much repetition, you know. But, yeah.
Oh, honestly, I just want difference. But
yeah.
So chapter 1 through like 23, 24ish, something like that. 1 through 23, 24. It was okay. Ultimately, like we've mentioned, it's her playing victim, talking about her ex and everything wrong. Even when Damien goes out of his way to show her that he's giving her the world. Oh, but my ex did this. Oh, but shut the fuck up, enjoy it, stop. But now, the last few chapters, you actually got to see her ex in, like, full play. I really like what the writer did with his character. He is a douchebag, and I would punch him too if I had the chance, and I love the fact that the writer was able to write him in such a nasty way that it got the reader's feelings in a bunch as well. I loved that.
Oh my god, so did I.
I love that.
Honestly, seeing him for what he is right then and there, I was like, yes, this was the thing I was looking for. I was hoping for this part of the book, and I'm so glad they had it that way.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, now this is really getting good. I was over here, like, you know, leaning forward in my gaming chair. Sorry, sort of level.
And, spoiler alert, best thing ever. He gets fired, obviously. He doesn't actually get promoted to partner or anything. He gets fired. But no, yeah. Damien ends up punching him. She ends up punching him. She ends up running after him. I did end up, like, actually LOLing, like, actually, like, laughing out loud because she ended up having to run down 60 flights of stairs and like halfway across the parking lot or some shit just to get to him, just to be like, no, wait, And again, I don't remember the exact verbiage he used, but he basically said, "You did cardio for me?" Calling her a lazy bitch.
Was amazing. Well, she did say that she doesn't do any cardio of any sort for any reason.
No, absolutely.
But I thought it was the most adorable thing of the fact that she went and run after this man. I thought I was like, oh, yes, okay, this is the romance I'm looking for.
Yeah.
This is the stuff I was hoping for.
The last 10 chapters. That's where it's at. I mean, even if you don't actually read this book and you just like. Even though you won't really know anything that's going on, if you just skip to like chapter 23 or 24 and just read the ending, do that, because just the ending alone would be a 5 out of 5. But the book is not that, unfortunately.
No, honestly, there isn't really much to this book for me. I'd probably give it at least a 3, most because the ending for me is what saved it. And when it came to, or like towards the ending is when it saved, like you said, last 10 chapters. Yeah. That's when it saved it. That I was like, okay, this is, to me, this felt like the real concept. The other stuff is nice because they were going through their relationship, starting things out. It's cute.
Yeah.
You get to meet a little bit of a family. I believe that's covered within the last 10 chapters when they got introduced to Abigail's family and all. I was like, okay, this is the stuff I was more looking for.
Right.
More of the concept, more about her versus just the pain. I understand that, like she had a certain mindset because she got pretty much like altered herself in the span of 4 years being with the ex, Richard. And I get that, but it does feel less impactful when it's like shoved so much into your face.
Right.
Like it could have been something simple like, that's just what I'm used to because of past. You didn't have to go on the whole tirade because he made me feel this, and that. Yes, we know. But there could have been more emotion to it, or more of like her in the now feeling that way because it spent so much looking to the past, forgetting much less of the current moment, except for maybe like 10 minutes at best.
Right.
From like the earlier and the middle chapters. But then towards the end, it became more of the present because things were really happening. At least that's how it was for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hard stuck on a 4 out of 5. I did like it. I did like the book, don't get me wrong. It was good. It could have been better. I didn't like the repetitiveness, so obviously it can't get anything over a 4. But it was good. Would I recommend it?
For me, it's a 3 for me.
Yeah, would I recommend it? Maybe. Would I ever read it again? No.
Nah,
is this book
like
memorable? Right? Is this book memorable? I'm sorry, no.
The repetition would be.
No, fuck. Like, this book had so much potential, and unfortunately the author ruined it just because of the repetition. And the book itself was probably like 350 pages, maybe 400. I don't know. It was up there. The book should have only been a novella, if I'm being honest. And it would have been fine, but that's it. There's nothing else. And I feel bad saying that because, I always like to respect the author and everything. It was good. But that's all I can say. That's all I can say because normally if I say, oh, it was good, typically, if you've watched our other videos, it's like, it's good. Go give it a shot. I do still say go give it a shot and read it if you like. You good?
Yeah, sorry, I was struggling with the medicine.
I can tell your character looks like he has a tummy ache.
Oh, no, it's just the damn pill got like stuck sideways in my throat. But I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
I take really big pills.
Your character is really struggling there.
I know. It's weird.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like this was a really, really short episode, but unfortunately, there's really not much. I mean, literally, if you read this book, skip through the spicy chapters. You're not missing anything. I promise. And if you skip through the spicy chapters, that's at least going to take off probably 2 hours of the book right there. Just do yourself a favor.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of timed it, and it's almost an hour and a half's worth. So yeah, close to 2 hours.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. Just skip it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. But everything else about the book, it's alright.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same with Elvish. Do I recommend it? If you're bored, maybe.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, I mean, you can always give it a shot. It never hurts to give it a shot. Maybe it's your thing. Maybe it's not. You never know when to read it, but now you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And you know...
Ain't that right balance?
Oh yeah. Hi, Violet. Yeah, if you end up reading it, leave us comments below. Obviously, we don't want to send any hate towards the author, but if you liked it, tell me your favorite parts. If you hated it, tell us why you hated it. Just tell us everything. And, you know, of course, we're interested in hearing your thoughts on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It never hurts to give it a shot. Like I said, could be something you might like. Who knows? But, I mean, definitely ain't gonna read again anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
There were some parts I liked, and that was about it. Mostly towards the end is really where all the real stuff that happens.
Yeah. Just, if you take anything from this video, read chapter 23 to the end. Do yourself a favor. You'll like it. That'll be, that would be it right there.
Probably the first 2 chapters deal with the repetitiveness, and then do 23 to the end? Yeah, 23 to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is really short, and I'm so sorry, but yeah.
I mean, it was a short read, to be honest.
Oh yeah, once you get past all, never mind. Elvish, don't do it. Elvish,
it's okay.
Don't do it.
Look, it's over now. It's over now. It won't hurt you anymore.
The bad man touched me. Okay, I can't make that joke.
Lord.
Canceled again. You just hear the do the Law and Order.
Yep. Do.
But yeah, I mean, that's it for me. Do you have anything else?
Not really. I think I gave my rating already. I think it was just a 3.
Yeah.
3 out of 3.
I think you read this book so much this week, now you're repeating yourself.
Oh dear God, am I actually doing? Oh my God, I am.
I love it.
Hey, comment. You should put down a counter of how many times I repeated anything that I've said. Just put it down there in the comments. It's fine.
And for your daily life lesson, or I guess it's weekly because you only see us once a week. For your weekly life lesson, if you are riding a motorcycle, do not press the front brake super hard. You will fly off that bitch. That is all.
And since we're giving that sort of advice, if you're on a 4-wheeler, don't do hard turns and press the brake, because then you'll skid on your face.
My arm is proof of this.
Oh my gosh. If I had a picture from like a couple years ago, you'll see like I look like Two-Face on like a small part of my face.
Bro,
like
I'm still not even able to fully bend my arm, so don't
just be careful.
lightly touch it, lightly stroke the length of the brake.
There you go.
Okay, I'm done.
Lightly stroke it. Play with it a little. Feel how much pressure you need to put onto it. It's very important for your safety, of course.
put pressure on its opening. Oh God, like why are you? Do better, authors. Do better, please. Just do better. I know that sounds harsh, but
we have very high expectations now because we are been spoiled by really good writing from some very good authors.
Oh, that sounds mean, but you know, yeah, I know what you mean.
But we mean it with love. I promise. We mean it with love.
Oh. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go before we dig ourselves in a bigger grave.
Yeah, we're just digging a hole at this point.
Okay, I'm Elvish, that's Aqua, bye.
Okay, bye. This is Violet too.